Jair was the seventh judge of Israel in the time of the Old Testament. He rose as a judge among God's people after Toler's leadership. The story of Jair in the Bible is recorded in chapter 10 of the Judges book. And in this video, you will understand everything the Bible says about who Jair was, the judge of Israel, and how was his leadership period ahead of God's people, at a time when the Israelites were not ruled by kings. In the original, the name Jair probably means he illuminates. But before Judge Jair, the Bible mentions another man with that same name. This first Jair was the son of Saif and seems to have been a great conqueror on the tribe of Manasseh. During the conquest of the east of Jordan, he won many villages on the border of Bashan and Gilead. These villages became known as Havot Jair, who basically means villages of Jair, or cities of Jair. Mention of this first Jair is important because, for many scholars, the seventh judge of Israel was probably one of his descendants. The Bible refers to Jair, the judge of Israel, as a Gileadi, that is, a person of Gilead, the same territory where the first Jair was very active in the time of the conquest of Canaan. Some interpreters suggest that the two Jair may be the same person in a kind of anachronism of biblical texts, that is, when chronological order is not followed in the text, but this interpretation is not very accepted among scholars. And Jair's leadership began after the Israelites, especially those of the northern tribes, were tried by Foolish. Judge Foolish led the sons of Israel after Abimelech's disastrous claim, the son of Gideon, who tried to establish an unauthorized monarchy in Sikkim. But in connection with Tolah's leadership, the biblical text makes no reference to a specific enemy who has oppressed Israelites, and the same also happens with Jair's leadership. About Jair, the biblical text simply says that he judged Israel for 22 years. In Judges, the absence of identifying an aggressor people during the years when Jair judged Israel may mean that his leadership did not focus on releasing the Israelites from the hand of an oppressive nation, but was more dedicated toward solve the internal issues of the Israeli tribes themselves. The biblical text also adds that Jair had 30 children who rode about 30 donkeys, and also had 30 cities in the land of Gilead. These cities were also associated with Havot Jair designation, and the biblical text says, had 30 children who set up 30 donkeys. They had authority over 30 cities, which are still called Jair's villages, and are in Gilead. The description of the 30 children of Jair who walked on donkeys and ruled cities, probably an indication of the great power, influence, and richness of Jair's family in Israel. And when Jair died, the biblical text says that he was buried in camps, possibly also in Gilead, as we read in Judges chapter 10 and verse 5. And after this brief report, Judge Jair is no longer mentioned in any other part of Bible. Interestingly, in some lists of the period of the judges of Israel, Jair is counted as the eighth judge of Israel instead of the seventh Thaw. This is because some commentators consider Barak as a judge alongside Deborah, while others only tell Deborah's leadership. Even if you have any questions about the judges period, here on the channel we have a complete video about the history and possible chronology of the judges period. At the end of this video, you can watch it. The Bible still mentions two other people with the name Jair who lived following Israelite history. Elana's father, the man who killed the giant Goliath's brother, was called Jair, as we read in the first book of Chronicles. Then there was also a Jair that belonged to the tribe of Benjamin and was the father of Mordecai, the one who was a cousin and tutor of Esther, as we read in the book of Esther. And if you'd like to know the story of Jair, the judge of Israel in the Bible, leave your comment. Share this video with someone else. And if you are interested in knowing the word even more from God, studying the Bible in an organized way and with a simple and objective language, you can study theology with us. The information is in the description of this video and in the first comment fixed.
Getting to the end of a video like this is, in itself, an act of patience and surrender. Thank you for coming this far. Let us know your city and country in the comments, subscribe, share, and give it a like. Each small action helps these messages move forward. Thank you, big hug, and see you in the next video.